All right, everyone, welcome back. This is the LEC Week 4, Day 1, where we start off the first match on Astralis versus Vitality. Coming up to the picks and bans, we see a Varus ban. By the way, we're on patch 11.13, where Anathemas is enabled and Hullbreaker. Followed up is a Nocturne ban, Viego ban, pretty classic in regards of the quote-unquote meta champion. Some wouldn't be surprised to see a Xin Zhao or a Gwen, a Kali ban, those sorts of things. Xin is banned away from the side of Astralis, and we will see if there will be like some kind of respect ban from the side of Astralis later on. We see the Kalista ban from Vitality. Ban in regards to kind of towards the self-made direction, if they will leave the Evelynn open, who had a stellar performance in it on week 3. The first pick here will be the Thresh. Thresh was left open, but it will be either countered with something like a Nautilus or something else. We see the Lucian and Rumble pick for the side of Vitality. So Lucian probably towards the side of Lida, I would assume. Zanzara with the answer of Aphelios. This will be an interesting one, because this will leave open the answer of Vitality to go against Aphelios. And here we see the Akali pick. So unexpected if it is left open to pick Akali. Who would have thought? Here comes the Ezreal. There is also an option to play Ezreal towards mid if they really want to. Evolution is a better pick into the Aphelios, but that's up to them. A Skarner ban strikes me by surprise, but maybe Zanzara has been playing Skarner a little bit. I'm not sure about that. But we will see if there is something left open to ban. So what I feel here I don't really want to play against is presumably a Braum in the eyes of Astralis. From Vitality's side, let's see, here comes the Volibear ban. Okay. So far, so good. So, do you want to ban away some hard initiation, or do you want to ban away some range stuff? That's the question. I would assume you go for another support ban. Something like a Nautilus ban, maybe? Or maybe a Zyra ban. Well, here comes a Gwen ban. Also possible. Because we don't really know what's in the top side of Astralis yet. No one really showing too much of their cards yet. So there's still a support and probably a top laner to pick. And here comes the Nautilus as the answer for the Thresh, I would assume. In Nidalee Hover, okay. Looking to be an interesting one. So we would have AP junglers for Astralis and Vitality. Question is what else is left then, but here comes the switch towards the Big Bad Crocodile. Has also kind of developed itself into the meta. Renekton picked very often in the spring split, also in the summer split, making a very big occurrence. Now, what is left open? We still have not seen a jungler yet. So Rammus Hover. Probably not the best idea to pick a Rammus into a Rumble, I would assume. But here comes the Trundle. Very interesting to see a Trundle these days. But it might be due to some changes on items on patch 11.3. I'm not really that up to par as what items have been changed and what champions got buffed and which got nerfed. The Gangplank is being hovered. If it were to be picked, I think the Crocodile will have a maybe not the worst of times, but the scaling... that is a good question. There's no real tank on the side of Vitality, so the Crocodile, if it opts to go into kind of this tanky, bruiser-y itemization together with the Trundle, I think that the frontline, the team comp of Vitality will have a pretty good time, because by the looks of it, they don't really want to engage, except for Nautilus, who probably throws himself into the fray to sacrifice himself and hopefully keep everyone off the side of Vitality. Astralis is looking for, I'd say, a pretty much front-to-back team fight. Akali as the assassin, probably on some flank or of some sorts. But now we'll head into the game. And we're starting off with Vitality on side red and Astralis on the blue side. As you probably saw from the picks and bans anyways, but hey, here we are. And we are loading into the Rift sooner or later. Here's the player's introduction. And I'm pretty interested in where the playstyle of both teams is going to develop, because Self-Made on the Rumble, I think, will have the faster clear speed in regards to Trundle, so Zanzaro will be a little bit slower in the clear department. The question is where they will shift their focus, because a Gangplank cannot be left untouched for too long because he has way better scaling than the Renekton. Renekton pretty much being a frontliner, but we have seen several occasions where the GP in the late game kind of had the upper hand in certain teamfight scenarios. We have the Ezreal, which is also scaling really well. Aphelios not really... Well, Aphelios is going to scale pretty well too. So is Akali. So we'll see where this is going to develop to. As mentioned, patch 11.3, I think Anathemas is enabled and Hullbreaker. But we probably will not see any split pushy champions here anytime soon in this week, I believe. I'm gonna get myself informed on the recent changes on patch 11.3 as in regards to maybe why certain champions will be picked, but I can tell you right now at the top of my head. And off we go. We see both junglers starting on the blue side. Rumble already done with his blue buff, whereas Trundle is done now too. We see some pretty decent poke from leader here onto MagiFelix. Lucian in the early stages of the game, most likely gonna be the aggressor on this lane because Akali can't do anything against the range yet. The Crocodile is gonna suffer in the early game as well, as in regards to GP now being level 2, and he has the poke / range. Bot lane, Crowny and Labrov are gonna play it safe. I'm not gonna overstep too much. Level 2 initiate from Aphelios and Thresh will be quite powerful if they overstay their welcome a little bit. They're also going to play it safe because Self-Made is pathing up towards the top side. So they will most likely play their lane safe. They cannot be dived yet, at least. GP getting a good push under the tower. SLT doing good job here. Self-Made now being done with his red buff. And we see already Trundle being a decent chunk behind on time. Self-Made is looking for some info here where this Trundle might be and realizes that, okay, well, there's no blue buff here and no Gromp, so better take the crab. Some short little skirmishes here in the bot side. Being pushed on the tower. The first plate already almost taken for Tesla and Promiscu. So this is going to be an interesting one. Here comes the troll looking for the bot side crab. He's probably only gonna get the crab and then be gone. Let's block the crab in nice and tight with this pillar of ice. Taking a quick look at the mid lane, as mentioned, MagiFelix will have the not so fun lane in the early stages of the game. As mentioned, leader with a decent CS lead so far, applying some pressure on the Akali, maybe forcing out a recall or so sometime soon because Akali has the teleport and not the ignite. Self-Made now setting up for a lane gank here. This lane, the blue wave, is going to push out sooner or later. So if Self-Made stays in this bush and doesn't show himself and White Knight overstays, he will probably die. But White Knight having a good gut feel, or either got the call that there is no Self-Made around or to be seen, or they have info where he is not. So that's pretty good. SLT with a good wave that is pushing under his tower. So White Knight with has to crash this wave kind of under the top side turret, so he can so that GP loses some sort of CS. Bot lane, well, pretty much even. Not really happening too much there, apart from a couple of skirmishes. Crowny just looking to scale. Self-Made very smart here, moving around the outside of the Gromp, realizing the bot wave is going to push out. And he's going to go for a lane gank again, staying just out of vision of those minions. and trying to set up for a bait play here by Crowny. So Crowny staying in the back here, kind of taking the bait, and it will pay off because they now see Selfmade on the Gromp. So either it will result in aggression in the bot side, that they want to go quite aggressive. Leader, as mentioned, also applying the pressure, trying to get as much pressure on this Akali, get her bullied out of lane, deny her CS and stuff. White Knight constantly pushed under the tower as of now. GP going for the recall, most likely going to TP back into lane, or is going to stay at the moment still. So nothing too much going on here. Well, all lanes are kind of even, I would say, except for bot, where we have a slight lead for Jeskla, and mid lane, slight lead for Lida, who's still bullying MagiFelix to his heart's content. And I think one game-changing factor in this game, I think, or I would believe, is that Selfmade has the faster jungle clear and will most likely have more opportunities to get a gank going. But Leader getting ganked now by Zanzara, but Zanzara already running away. Leader snacking in some plates. The troll is moving towards the dragon because there's nothing else to take inside of his jungle. He has the priority on bot lane. Decent push under the tower. One plate already taken, 1.5 almost, for Jeskla here, which is more gold inside his pocket, and free dragon for Zanzara at the side of Astralis, which is an ocean dragon. So we will see either a mountain drake, we'll see a inferno drake, or a cloud drake in regards to the soul. So now, not too much happening at the moment. White Knight a little bit behind in the CS department. SLT doing a good job in staying ahead of the crocodile, poking and prodding, and always trying to get the skirmishes there. Promiscu on a little bit of a detour here, trying to get a setup or get a play going for either White Knight or playing it safe for Zanzara, because they don't really know where Selfmade is by the looks of it, or to deny vision that Zanzara is at least safe. And he can still go for a gank towards the top side. They know there is no vision, and SLT is a little bit out of position. And here comes Promiscu, and this will most likely result in a death of SLT here. Here comes Zanzara, here's the big mean croc, and a Promiscu. So first blood goes over to Astralis. Very well played. SLT a little bit pushed too far, probably wanted to get the crash and then go back and recall, but staying a little bit too long. Excuse me, leader now with a blue buff shared from Selfmade, allowing him to use even more resources to get pushes going, to get the waves under the tower, get the poke going. Promiscu on the detour now, again, trying to make a play happen with MagiFelix here by the looks of it, or just staying out of vision, because Lida might have stayed a little bit too long, but nothing too much coming off of it. Taking a quick look at the gold, it is pretty even so far. In terms of farm, we have the biggest lead in the mid lane, obviously, and we have Jeskla and Crowny being pretty much even in the CS department, or very close to even. So not too much going on here. We see a little bit of a vision established here for the bot side of Vitality to be safe and be allowed to push up. So they have the rotations covered from the mid lane, which is kind of okay. What is this gonna be? This is an attempt for a Herald, but SLT is kind of in a pickle here. He's pinched, but he still has flash, but it doesn't really matter in the end. Yeah. Okay, that's a thing. So, well, this is gonna be a fiesta right here. Okay, the fight for a Herald is on. Everybody's here. Top jungle mid. The supports have shifted up to. And I can't even talk right now because there's so much happening, and this is the absolute throw of the century, because Astralis will probably lose this engagement, or MagiFelix cleans up everyone. The leader is still here. Leader has something to say about that, but MagiFelix is here as well, and this is just the fight of the mids and supports. But leader probably flashes over the wall, is safe. Akali's not going to follow up. This is... okay. Well, that's a thing. The Herald rotation at 8:30 or something. This is insane. Okay, so everybody tried to move in for the Herald. SLT caught out of position, but then mid jungle and support from the side of Vitality commit to the play and try to get SLT out of trouble, but SLT still dies. And yeah, well, bot side, in the meantime, just farming, and here we see a quick little recap. So I can actually talk about it. ASTvsVIT on the side with Zanzara, so he's covering his jungler. Zanzara has done most of the damage towards the Herald there, and here comes the commit from White Knight, and SLT is just dead. Selfmade's here now alone, and now Lida and Labrov are shifting towards the Herald. They try to get the Herald. They get the Herald, I believe. Yes, they got the Herald. Here we see the smite fight for the Herald now. Zanzara dies to Selfmade, and the damage onto White Knight is a little bit too much. But here is ASTvsVIT and Promiscu, and yeah, Akali is, yeah, Akali is just, you know, what she is. I think if she just flash Qs the Nautilus, he just dies then and there. Leader has to burn his flash. Ton of flashes burned. A lot of resources used in this fight. But overall, not too much happening. Vitality also in the lead with the gold again. Have taken a mid tower with the Herald. Leader in the lead now. This is kind of weird to say. Leader in the lead now. Ugh. That's kind of weird. But yeah. Lucian with the Gale Force now to get a little bit more mobility or execute damage if he really wants to. No vision established for Vitality towards the bot lane, but they will most likely just leave or shift towards the mid lane or set up for Dragon, which spawns in about 4 seconds. The vision is favored for the side of Astralis, so they definitely know what they want to do. But they're not really going to show their cards as of yet. Selfmade is moving in. Leader's applying pressure onto ASTvsVIT. ASTvsVIT just takes a huge chunk and dies, and Leader just executes him right on the spot. This is a good start for the side of Vitality to initiate a fight for the strike. The hook. Oh, that was mean. Zanzara canceling the hook of Labrov with his pillar. So he hooks the pillar. And this is actually really good, but the dragon still goes over to the side of the bees. So Vitality are, well, actually second tower taken in the mid already. Okay. So this is kind of a weird trade. So it was like 1 kill for, to sum it up real quick. So Labrov died, ASTvsVIT died, Dragon was for Vitality, and the second mid tier 2 tower is also for Vitality. So overall they came out on top here. The blue buffs is getting contested from the bot lane as well, which allows Zanzara to just get it fair and square. Meanwhile, in the top lane, what's happening? Not really too much. SLT is pretty much behind at this point. He has not completed his mythic yet. Renekton, or White Knight, has not finished his mythic yet either, but he's a little bit ahead in the CS department, and he has 2 kills. Most likely going to set up for a dive here with ASTvsVIT shifting in here. SLT expected that White Knight recall because he didn't show for a long time, but SLT is on the run. He has flash ready, and he's running. This pirate is on the loose. Here comes the Rumble ult for safety. Selfmade covering the top laner's butt real good here, which allows SLT to stay. Just chug some corrupting potions and be fine. Which allows Lida, since he had vision, to know where ASTvsVIT is, to shove out the mid wave and crash this mid wave under the tower as well. And now they will either look to set up for a bot play to either get the tower or something. I'm not really sure what the plan here is, or set up for a dive. No, Leader's backing off now. So overall, to take in consideration what happened all this time, pretty even game still, pretty much. As we see now a Protobelt on the Akali and no longer a Rift Maker. I wonder why that is. Maybe due to some item changes, but as mentioned, I'm not really up to par and or up to date. So, yeah. Hook goes wide for Labrov. Leader on the hunt. Leader is hungry. Leader is very far ahead of this Akali. And I'm interested to see where this fight is, where those two team comps are going to go, because the side of Vitality is not really that tanky, and Akali has a ton of damage in the late game department, or in the mid to late game. She has a ton of damage with her ultimate and stuff. This is not to be trifled with. So it's all down to, I feel like the fights are all going to be down to how well Akali can find and engage or find a kill on some flank or something. But we'll see how this turns out. The top side is pretty much, push here, push there. The Crocodile versus the Pirate, and nothing too much going on. Another setup for the Herald, which to mid lane is pushed out, which allows Astralis to take this Herald. Most likely, unless they get interrupted, and SLT will see what's up. So Astralis, either, I think they really want this Herald, huh? Yeah, they're gonna get it at ease. Okay, White Knight is here to cover. Nothing's gonna happen. Vitality, just give it. And well, there's no more plates to be had, so the Herald doesn't offer that much value anymore. If there's plates at the table, then it's a different story. But they will most likely take the tier 1 and then allow the Herald to crash into tier 2, which Vitality is expecting, and set up for the counterplay here, or for the protection of the topside turret, I believe. I think Selfmade will stay here, doesn't he? Yeah, he will stay. In the meantime, bot side turret will be taken. It will be 1 tower for 1 at the moment. But there will soon be, well, no second tower for the side of Astralis. Not enough damage off of the Herald charge. And their 2 mid lane towers are still alive and kicking. So, yeah, Vitality overall playing the better objective game here. There we can see. And they really have the topside covered with vision here. So if Selfmade ever sets foot into this topside jungle, or if they ever wanted to set up for a play on the side to get SLT killed, this is a pretty good time, because Magic Felix has TP, White Knight has TP, and this could be disaster for the Pirate or whoever is in top lane at this point in time. But here we are setting up for, this is the 3rd Drake of the game. Vitality doing a good job here. It's zoning them off. Their champions are pretty much allowed to do so, but Promise Q and the teleport in the back from Magic Felix, I assume, or White Knight. White Knight's coming in. The dragon is taken for a side of Vitality, and here comes the big mean Crocodile. The Dominus is here. Here's the ultimate of Rumble. A ton of damage applied to the side of Astralis, and Selfmade is dead. That's pretty much it. And here goes Labrov, and here is Promise Q. Why did leader okay. Brownie's probably dead too? No, okay. Not really too good of a job here on me and the shark costing department, but this was I really caught off. Ooh, Promise Q! He pressed the Q button. Nice. Catching Vitality. Round shot. Out of position. And this was a very good fight for Astralis, actually. They're very well done. Very well done. The Renekton with the side flank, with the teleport. Vitality not having vision there, and here we see a quick little recap, so now I can talk about it while I was thinking about. Promise Q establishing vision here just for the Crocodile to come in, and they really want to give this Drake, but they want to wipe up. And here's the hook onto Selfmade. Here goes Promise Q, Zanzara, Magic Felix coming in. The Crocodile is just here to tank all of this, and here goes Labrov, flashes over the wall. Magic Felix jumps over it, just executes the Nautilus, and here's a quick little skirmish in the top lane to be sprinkled over on top. Will the Pirate win this? Ooh, no, definitely not. The Magic Felix strikes down the Pirate. Yarr. So, yeah, well, that's Dave. And Magic Felix is one happy boy right now. Yeah, oh, Selfmade. Oh, Selfmade. Ooh, the minion block. No, and the ultimate of Ezreal goes wide too. Ah, Sag. Here comes the troll. Will there be a kill onto Selfmade? Selfmade really trying to keep this troll at bay, and this is where the shift from the mid lane comes up, and yeah, you guessed it, the ultimate to cover, but Selfmade is dead. And Vitality cannot fight this, or at least they should not fight this. SLT is here with the teleport. Now comes Labrov. Labrov is in, but Labrov is also dead. And this is just like, I don't know what's going on here, but Vitality is just very, very miscoordinated and out of position at times where they just should not be at certain points on the map. It's just kind of weird. It's just I'm not gonna say a fiesta. Well, actually, it is kind of a fiesta. Like, everything is happening at once and in such short periods of time that it is just kind of yeah, it's just awkward. This thing, I should say. SLT could set up a freeze here if you really wanted to, I believe. I don't see the minions, but if the opportunity arises, he should freeze. He either recalls for an item, I assume, or well, we will see what's gonna happen. The mid lane is still standing though for the side of Vitality, which could be a factor. Crowley really trying to push out this wave early. And Astralis are looking for this big purple worm here. Question is, will they get it? Because Vitality have no vision here, but I think they have a certain feeling that if they don't see anyone at certain points in time, yeah, see, that's they assume it. And here's the blue trinket as well, so they know that something's happening, but they're just zoning off Vitality so well. And not everyone of Vitality is here, so they cannot fight this. And here comes a big bad troll, and Labrov has to jump out to safety. Will there be a fight? Obviously there will be a fight. And Leader is in. Leader takes down Zanzara almost. Selfmade is in. Also trying to get some damage done. And Zanzara is dead. Here comes the ultimate of GP to slow down White Knight, Jester, and Promiscu. Will there be another kill? The ultimate of Nautilus onto the White Knight. And here comes Leader and the zoning is on. Will there be an engagement? Will there be the distance closed? But no, Astralis back out to safety. And only Zanzara takes a beating here. Which is... I think Zanzara shouldn't have walked up too much here and should have just backed off because everyone is here and he tanked a ton of Leader shots. But this is then just the end of Zanzara here, and Vitality not having too well of a gap close here. The ultimate of Nautilus just getting the nick of Renekton here, and he just takes the Lantern and is out to safety. So, very well played by the side of Astralis, playing it safe, running away, not taking the fight at all, just taking the Baron and taking their lead this far. Oh, SLT getting outmaneuvered by Magifelix here. And... oh, SLT, the corrupting potion! And the W! Now Magifelix is out of position, but he has teleport, I believe. Yeah, he has teleport. No, he doesn't. He has a Baron recall. Okay, never mind. Which this will result in Dragon for Vitality, which is insane. Like if Magifelix gets this kill, this oh man. But in the meantime, White Knight on the side lane pushing like a madman, and the mid lane is going to fall too. So even though the objective, the dragon, has been taken for Vitality, and it's a Cloud Drake, which is yeah kind of eh. Another engagement here, mid lane, Zanzara getting hooked in, pulled back by Labrov, Selfmade here with the ultimate, but 200 years! Oh no! 200 years followed up by 600 years with the Akali, which is still in the game, or like, well, however old this game is, and this is just the age for Vitality, and this is, I think this is game. This is legit game, set, and match here. Astralis take this one. They're raising the tower, they're raising the inhibitor, and they're taking down all the minions and most likely all the Nexus turrets as well. So this is, yeah, GG. This is a win for Astralis here, which is kind of surprising because Vitality showed up strong last week and they were really finding their form and played it very well. But in this game, they just got choked. They misplayed a ton of fights. And didn't get their, they really didn't get their game going, which is kind of unfortunate. But here we are. Upcoming is SK versus Rogue in the next one. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one.